Generic greetings and welcome back to Farthest Frontier and indeed a new series. Today's beverage is a very nice and indeed very refreshing apple and blackcurrant juice drink, no added sugar, very nice indeed. So welcome to Farthest Frontier. This is a survival city builder and a fine example of the genre with a couple of differences from its contemporaries, so things like crop rotation, forestry management, food spoiling, etc. So yeah, it's got a lot going for it and something I've been very much enjoying as of late, so I wanted to do a series on this and well, this is that. We're going to create a new settlement and indeed see how we get on. This is version 0.7.5F as shown on the bottom right there. It is early access, so typical disclaimers do apply here. There's going to be bugs to squish, polish to add, content to introduce, etc. But it is still very playable even at this stage. So let's go and create a new settlement and get the series started. Over to New Settlement on the left hand side. We have three difficulty settings: Pioneer, Trailblazer and Vanquisher. I think we're going to go with probably Trailblazer because that's the medium difficulty. So we still have hostile forces, we still have to deal with all of the resources, etc. And we also have some healthcare adversities as well, which is sort of not extreme, but there are still those. We're going to name this thing Generican, why not? And we also have a pacifist mode. We are not going to run a pacifist mode, so we still get hostile forces, so different types of attacker types with raids, etc. So we'll have to be dealing with those. And we have our terrain type. Now previously there was plains, lowland lakes, alpine valleys and arid highlands, the latter being the most difficult. We now also have an idyllic valley, which I think came with 0.7.5, and that says a lush and fertile valley abundant in resources and wildlife, the perfect place to build a town that's ideal for pioneers just starting out. Now we are not pioneers, we're not setting it to pioneer, so we don't get the bonuses in starting resources and wildlife. However, we are going to do the idyllic valley, so it's going to be more of a chill one, this thing, but we still have to deal with, as I said, all the crop rotation and food spoiling and the other random events that we get, so it's still going to be challenging, but hopefully not brutal, which is the main thing that I don't want this to be. You can change some of the advanced settings if you wish, so your extra resources, etc. We're not going to go with that one. We're just going to randomize the seed a little bit. There we go. We now have a map seed of 3 Delta Foxtrot 1 3 0 2 5 Alpha Charlie 5. Let's start this series and see how we get on. Obviously we have to survey. Let's skip that cutscene before someone decides to copyright claim it. And yeah, we need to survey the landscape, see where we can place our town centre, build a lot of the basics. So we need to get some gatherers, we need to hopefully get some hunters and fishing, whatever brings in food essentially. We need to create some sort of place for our villagers to stay, so little huts and such, and then some of the more industrial side of it. So yeah, we'll get on with that as well. I'm certainly not claiming to be an expert, far from it all. I know I've been enjoying the game. So if you have any tips, suggestions, feedback, etc., by all means pop it in the comments and let me know if there's any big issues there. We will have to alter our playstyle based on what we find straight away. So if there's lots of fish, then we'll have to deal with fishing and then smoking said fish to make it last longer. If there's lots of berries and such, then we'll go that route. If there's also lots of, say, wolves or wildlife, we'll have to have a look at that. And I'm seeing that we are on top of a little hill here, but also a lot of water to the north. Anyway, we finished scouting the surrounding area. Survey the land your villagers have explored and choose a promising site to construct the town centre. Okay, let's confirm that and see what we have going for as well. Immediately, we've got fish there. We've got fish on the left. And I'm just following this round. It's a very big lake. Okay. We've also got some flat open areas here. We've got some greens. Yeah, lots of greens and lots of hawthorn as well. Down here we have medicinal roots, and I'm also seeing it's a boar sighted, so we have some boars there. We have up the top here some clay deposits, birds nests. So down here we also have willows and fish and clay. Alright, so fish and clay, lots of stuff there. Oh, big hill. Was that 4 big hills? I think so. Iron ore there. Deer sighted. Loads of deer. Okay. I'm tempted with around here because we've got lots of birds' nests. We've got deer over there. We've got wood. And we've got fish. If we were to perhaps start out around here, though, would this be of some advantage. Oh, even better. Fish, fish, deer, flat open area, iron ore, hawthorns, greens, and lots of wood. Not a huge amount of wood, but enough. I don't know what's going to be over here, though. Well, we can mouse over it and you can see we have got lots of trees. Let me just put the overlay on. That's water. Water's good. Desirability, not much there. Fertility, oh, great fertile land there. Okay, I think around here. I think we're going to go with around here. Let's do it. So, we place the town centre. For better or worse, we've placed it here. If this doesn't work, well, you know, a new series is only a click away. What's happened is, they are going to chop all these trees down, and then basically start building the town centre. Going to go to building. We'll go for walls and roads. Dirt road. Place a dirt road all the way around the town centre. Like that. So, we are low on firewood and low on housing. Yep, definitely. That's because we haven't got either of those. But we want to get probably some housing. But we need to get at least the town centre done first. Can we do anything? We can. We can get a hunter's cabin. So hunter's cabin. We've got this over here. I'm going to place a hunter's cabin further down. Is there any wildlife over there to... Ah. Deer. And deer. Okay. So maybe... Oh! Pause the game. We are being attacked. We have a wolf. We have a predator sighted. And... that is a wolf. So, immediately, we're having to deal with that. And I'm hoping that nobody's got rabies, because that is a thing in the game, and it is a big problem. Anyway, they're going to deal with that. Let's go back to a hunter's cabin. I'm going to place the hunter's cabin over here then. The reason for that is, well, we've got lots of deer, and a wolf came from that direction, so we might have more wolves there. So we'll do that. We'll also place a forager shack around here. And indeed, I guess, do you want to rotate this? And indeed there. There's the two forager shacks. Fishing shack, which would be beneficial around this area. There. Takes a lot of wood to do this, but we can chop a lot of wood. Guess I'll do that. Harvest resources. Just remove all of those trees. And then hopefully that'll be food. Firewood is low. Yep, we know. But there is our main town centre. Also, is raining somewhat. Lots of lightning strikes as well. Can we build housing? We can. I don't want to start mashing housing straight away. Let's check out the... which one was it? It is... that's water... fertility. So this is where we want our farm. So housing can go on here. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. So we'll go for housing. Tab to rotate. 1, 2, 3 for now. Don't know if that's all we need. But I'll just put the road to there. If this ends up being a grid system, then I do apologise. It's potentially a thing. So that's going to get our housing done. We've got Verdon here, who is slightly injured. They're a builder that's status idle. I was going to say no, there's lots of things to build. What jobs do we have, actually? Got no logs. We've got 8 labourers, 4 builders. Labourers will remove a lot of the trees and such. Speaking of labouring, hunter cabin. They'll be doing that shortly. 3, 2, 1. That's just effort, that resource. And there we go. Building has no firewood. Yes, we are aware. I guess we could get some firewood. I guess it's good to get firewood sooner rather than later. So resources. We need a well. So I'll place that in here. Requires 5 stone. We have 20 stone. And a firewood splitter. Now, this has a negative desirability trait. So wherever it is, it's not desirable. Like, if I put it there, it'll have a negative impact on our housing. So I don't want to I want to have it like an industrial area. Not really an industrial. It's probably the wrong term. But certainly an area where we are not worrying too much about the negative effects. We're going to have a road that comes down. And I like the game does curve things. You can hold as it's shift, yeah, and it will just do straight roads if you want to do that. And just need the rest of the wood. If I go to here, yep, this is all of the trees that have been ordered to be removed. We also now have forager shack. So they're going to forage eggs, greens, all of that good stuff. We have a hunter here, who it says D is sighted there, and it says Hania is currently butchering meat. So we have a hunter. Excellent. And that is, it means then, yeah, we do have food increasing. But we can't smoke the meat. We need to smoke the meat as well to increase its lifespan. Loads of birds' nests over there. And hawthorns as well. I don't think we can move these, can we? Oh, there's coal! So it might be a good location around here. Who knows? There's 4 out of the 12 housing required, because we now have 1 shelter. Still removing these trees, so it's going to take a little bit of time. See all the trees going. This is our storage cart as well. We can shift it. We can press... can we move? Yeah, you can say move building. So this is everything that we basically set off with, and we can move the cart as well. It's fine where it is, but yeah, you can just click on that and then move the cart. It does spin round very quickly. There's probably some... it's got some issues when you move this cart sometimes. If you just spin it round, is it gonna... Yep, we can just drift the cart around. Yep, you can drift a cart, can confirm. We have a few more logs for these. Let's just... maybe... do we need to? No. I was going to say, do we need to focus on the firewood? It's standard priority. We do have our forager. So there's the forager there. Getting the greens. Can you move greens? You can't. There's some things you can find. Don't think it's hawthorns. I think it's just berries. There's some berries that you can get, basically. And you can actually move them. So you can move the berry bushes. Oh, looks like the fishing shack only requires work now to do it. So the resources have been brought to this location. They just need to be worked on. So that's fine. Looks like this building is almost done as well. 3 more wood. We've got none, but again, we have ordered the removal of a lot of this wood. There's some logs there as well. So it's just time, basically. It's just a matter of time. So we will indeed speed up time to 3 times. We'll have no fishing range. Okay. So this is no fishing range, but there's fish there. So what you can do is retarget the building work radius. I'm not convinced that... I think it is there, yeah. Sometimes it just requires a little bit of time. So patience is the key. And there's our fisher. Malilma. And fishing. There we go. He's splashing out of the water there. Very nice indeed. We have another building up and running. This is our house. Says it's out of clean water. Correct. I'm going to prioritise the building of the well. You need fresh water. If you don't have fresh water, they will get it. So these here, let's have a quick look. Shelter stocking. So they're actually heading to the river because that's where they're going to get their water. There you go, carried water. So it's natural behaviours. We need water. Let's go and get water from the well. There isn't a well. So where we're going to go from here? Well, not the well. We'll go here, where the water is. And hopefully, it's not contaminated. Because that it can be a thing. So, yeah. The well's almost complete. And we've got the firewood splitter on the go as well. What else do we need? We want a field, which takes effort to make. A smokehouse would be nice, but we need more firewood splitters. So that's there. I will increase the amount of firewood splitters because we're almost halfway through the season and I want more people working on doing that. So foraging is fine. Hunting is also fine. Fishing is fine. More foraging and more people away to word to join your settlement. Amass 4 months supply of food and 6 houses. I will do that at some point. TBC, not now. So, stockyard, a place for villagers to stockpile building materials such as logs, stone, and wood planks. I'm going to place this in here because, quite frankly, we can, and that's the end of that conversation. And no, basically, I want this, like I said, to be an industrial type area. So I'm looking around. There's a lot of mature trees on here, and also a lot of dead ones. So there's like a dead pine. So I'll harvest that resource, harvest that resource, harvest that. A lot of people I've seen have, what would be the best term? They are not overly keen, perhaps, on the way the game deals with forests. So I can get all this wood, no problem. I can click this button and say, right, harvest the lot. Guess what? You've just removed all your trees, even the younger ones. So that's it. Job done. You're not getting any more trees. I mean, the forest will encroach back on there if you've still left some trees. But the idea is you let the mature trees grow up, let them obviously go to seed, and then you get like these pines and such, which are still growing, and you chop down the more mature ones. Then that opens up the area for the other trees to grow and flourish, and then you chop those, and it's forestry management. There's no forester as far as I can tell. There is later on. I think it's in not food production resources. I think it's one of these, a work camp. Yeah, deposit materials, a work camp. So you can call it. Is it a work camp? Continue to harvest wood and stone. Yeah, so they'll chop down the more mature ones. But there's no like tree planter person. Like that's, as far as I can tell, that's not a thing. If that is, well, if that's again not the case, then let me know. So that's getting built there. That's requiring wood there. We've got a decent amount of wood. I think it would be of some benefit to start making a field. So food, field, very fertile around here. I'm going to leave a gap of 1 all the way around the field. So that's going to be, this is going to be a fence basically, and fence down there because the road's going to head down. So I want fence down there. So it starts here. And the size of this is going to be 8 by 8. It's a fairly big field. Maybe an 8 by 6 field for now. Yes. So the way this works is it just requires effort. So they need to remove the trees, remove all of the weeds and foliage, level the land, and get it ready for production, essentially. Looks like our villager happiness is great. We have 12 out of 12 people. That's 6 adults, 6 adolescents, 12 food, but 8 of it will spoil in the next 8 months. Again, that's one of the differences that this game has to others perhaps of the genre, where food is spoiling. You can't just catch a fish, shove it in the storage area, and it lasts for 20 years. That's not a thing. And have I put the entrance over there? I don't think it really matters. But all I'm saying is I'm gonna relocate it so the entrance is there. It doesn't require any resources. You can just tell it to do that. So, fine. Hawthorns are now in play. Hawthorn, large thorny shrubs of the rose family that produce red berries, ripen late in fall. Times of desperation, hawthorn berries are one of the last remaining food sources for settlers. Basically, they don't much like it, but they will eat it because, well, needs must sometimes. We have 45 firewood, 12 normal logs, 15 stone, no clay or bricks because we don't need any of that. Hawthorns are over there. I think another... Do we need another gatherer? Not with the amount of food that we have. I don't think that is the case. But I do want to get some food storage. So we've got a stockyard. No, we don't have a stockyard. We do have a stockyard, sorry. It's turning round. So once that's built, we'll get access to other things. So there's a storehouse, a large storehouse used to store all items, and that's going to go in here. That, again, doesn't remove anything in particular. And there we go. That's what I wanted. This is a root cellar, and it's an extremely important building. Very important because it stores food. Not just that. I'm going to place one down for now and prioritise that. I will have to get some more stone, and the nearest source of stone is there. So harvest resource, prioritise. The reason for that is... I've just dropped all of that and gone head off to do whatever you said there. Yeah, the reason that's important is the root cellar's a bit colder, which means food lasts longer in there. So out of the 10 that's going to spoil, if we get that built sooner rather than later, hopefully it should be... hopefully it'll afford us some advantage. Wow, that's a lot of effort. 2,160 units of work required there. Looks like only 5 stone is remaining, but we need to gather said stone, which is over at this location. We still have lots of trees that have been marked to be removed. We can see a lot of autumn around here. All of the autumn shades have come in, which is lovely. We do certainly need some more... yeah, we certainly need some more people, which requires some more shelters, which I'll probably put on the other side. I can't really get too close to this because that's iron ore, and I don't want to build too close to that, so maybe houses on the other side. Let's go to housing, and we'll spin this round. There's an entranceway technically there. I could build it that way. There's another 3 units of housing. And we will go for... Well, for a start, I want to get some roads going down here. So let's do that. Walls and roads. Roads. From here, it's going to... And I'm keeping it more of a natural road, so it's going to curve like that, as opposed to the grid system that I'll end up doing here. Again, holding shift to just introduce that. And there we are. So that's been prioritised. Lots of root vegetables hanging around there. I say hanging around as if they've like chosen to do it. They've been dumped on the ground. 6 more stone. Yeah. How are we doing for deer? Deer's alright. They've just killed that. There was... when in the build that I played very early on, I think, there was an issue with the hunters, especially when it came to predators. So they would see whatever it was that they wanted to hunt. I think it was a boar. I think it was boars. And they would go, yeah, let's get on that. They would go near it, fire one arrow, and then completely bottle it. Abort the entire mission because they were scared and run away. And then basically rinse, repeat, and do the same thing again. It was an interesting thing to look at, I'll be honest. Oh, there's a cart there. What are they bringing back? Loads of logs. Fair enough. They're going to bring it to there, I guess, to finish building that. So there's our stockyard where we're storing lots of firewood, which is good. We are also building the storehouse, but the main thing is the root cellar. So this is 14, but 11 will spoil in the next 12 months. Let's see what it goes to once we've moved it to this. We haven't got any barrels. We do need a cooper eventually, but what will happen is we'll store all this stuff in here, and then it'll last a bit longer. So housing is getting built for the most part. We do still need to remove some of these trees, which we will get on with at some point. We have even more food that's going to spoil. I'm guessing because I haven't moved it to the cellar just yet. Oh, there we go. They're starting to move in the berries and all of that. This will still have some in here as well. Smoked meats, etc. I could untick it to move it over. Alright, okay. So this is a thing. This construction here has been paused simply because it's far too cold. Freezing temperatures, light breeze, they can't work on it. So they'll go and do other things. Don't think anyone's idle. Let's have a quick check. 4 labourers. The farmers, I think they're just idling, unable to work. Yeah, so I'll remove the farmers, and they'll just become labourers, which are now chopping trees. That's shown on the top right there. Good. Food has gone right down. Ooh, have we had a lot of spoil? It's possible. Predator sighted. Over there. Okay, wolf. Wolves are aggressive animals that pose moderate danger. Okay. Where is our hunter for a start? They are attacking the wolf by the look of it. Yes, they are. Although, the wolf seems to be... Good grief. Absolutely slaughtering Adric here, who is a forager. And they're probably going to die. Everyone's attacking the wolf. There's the range shot coming in there. Oh, I missed. They're running back home. That's what's happening here, by the way. They're going to hide in their house. And then the rest of the villagers will be able to just deal with that. Okay, so that's been dealt with. But I'm very worried about them. Okay. Smokehouse we don't need just yet. Actually, it would be nice, but I don't know if it's something we really, really need. Saw pit is good. Firewood splitter. Do we need a firewood splitter? I'm not too sure. Well, another one, I mean. Because we got 150 firewood. We'll see what we're like with the first season. See what happens in the first season. Don't need defences. Walls and roads. Don't need to put more in. Although it might be desirable to build a road further in there. You can see deciduous trees. That still shows the outline of the trees if it had foliage on. But it does not. Not in winter. So villager happiness is still there. We still have food. I think I'm going to make another forager. And maybe even another fisher. There's fish there. And this person is injured. Why? I'm not too sure. They are fishing, but I noticed they're not fishing where there's an abundance of fish. There's a shoal of fish there. Tell you what, I'm going to move it then. So move the building work to there. Building work. The work for them over there. Absolutely freezing now. Extreme cold temperature, moderate breeze. But everyone has a house. Everyone has firewood. So click on the house, see what's in there. Ah, we do have waste now. And that's something that we'll have to deal with. So let's do that right now. We need to deal with waste, which is... technically it could be food production. As part of that, we need a compost yard. Compost yard requires saw pit, which is why I mentioned saw pit previously. Let's put a saw pit in. As you can see, it has a undesirability thing. It's not too much of a problem. Going to place that there, get our saw pit going. And then the waste, which definitely has a negative thing. I'm hoping we don't over-hunt these deer. I really hope we don't over-hunt them. Food production, we've got forager, we've got fishing, we've got crop field, we've got a smokehouse. I think a forager shack over here would be desirable, which I'll place in there. And naturally, a road will go up here, like so. So lots of orders. There is our storehouse, which can store everything. But as far as I can tell, they prefer to store it in here. Can I turn these off? Turn those off, so I don't want to store them in there. I want to store them in there. Is that the priority? Increase storage capacity or reduce food waste. But we need bricks and gold for that. So you can see what's happening is they're bringing, hopefully... they're gathering carcasses. They were going here for something. Not too sure. Maybe they were storing stuff there. Anyway. 11 months of food, but also 11 months before this spoils. We have got fish in the root cellar. Who's this? Is this our fisher? Is this fisher persons? Labourer. Stockpiling fish. And hopefully they're taking it here. Nope. Nope, they just... Oh, yes, they are. Yes, and the fish is going up. Excellent. So they are storing it in the root cellar. Partially underground structure used to store food at a reliable temperature, reducing the rate of spoilage. I'll be honest, you could probably just put the food out at the moment. It'll just set like a brick. Speaking of bricks, nowhere we can harvest there. Saw pit has been ordered. As has this. And we're now building another house. So we might get more people. We'll have to remember as well that we did turn off the farmers. So there ain't any farmers to work on this. Is this lake completely frozen over? It has completely frozen over. Are they able to fish then? They're dropping off fish. Wow, I've actually never seen that. Never seen that either. What on earth? Yeah. Oh, we have another house. Brilliant. We have 12 of 16, and more people may turn up shortly. There's a rock selected over there. 20. I'll say harvest because we are low on rocks. We also have no logs. That's because we're splitting the firewood constantly. I'm going to reduce the amount of people working on the fire log splitter. And, oh, there we go. Food lost to spoilage. 50 meat, 28 fish, and 1 berry. I don't think there's much we can do about that at this stage. Upgrading it would be nice, but we don't have that option. And barrels would be nice, but again, we don't have that option. Once we've got the saw pit, however, we can at least start carting away the waste and then deal with said waste. Hang on. So we built this house, and I think one person from each house just decided, no, we're going to live somewhere else. They probably weren't getting on. You can see, oh, this is our hunter, and you can see they're armed with a bow and a weapon. Oh, missing ranged ammunition. Ah, are we completely out of ranged ammunition? No, we've got arrows there. They just haven't stockpiled it. That's all it is. And we are now getting a Thor. New year. Year number 2. And 2 new villages have emigrated. Let's make sure we turn on our farmers. And there we go. Lots of greens around the place. I'm going to prioritise the building of this to obviously get more resources. Looks like that fish has moved there. We'll shift the work back to there. And I think we will leave it there. Bit of Farthest Frontier here. And 2 deer that are almost dead. 1 deer is now dead. The other one is almost dead. It may recover. It may die of its wounds. Yeah. Good start, I think. Abundant resources. Good housing. We've got firewood. Going to be dealing with waste shortly. And, yeah. Happy with that. We'll leave it there for now. That's been a bit of Farthest Frontier. Next episode, we will continue on. Finish the houses. Get some more industry, for the lack of a better term. Maybe get crops in. I don't think we'll get crops in, but we'll see. We certainly need to get a fence around it because deer really enjoy wandering into the field and eating everything. Like, they really just live for it. So we'll have to deal with that as well. Either way, we're going to call it there for now. It's been a bit of Farthest Frontier. Next episode, we will crack on and continue. As always, hope you have enjoyed the episode. Comments in the comments. And yeah, if you have any tips and suggestions, would love to hear them. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.